This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your fear-filled host, Dave Oster. This is episode 9 of Too Old to Game. We are a podcast that talks about gaming and things and stuff of that ilk. I'm joined by the wonderful Mark Weber.
Dub Zimmies.
And the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, stuff of that ilk? Is that what you just said?
I did.
That's a new one for Dave Oster.
I'm just throwing out words. Like, my brain is kind of wrecked at this point. Like, I went back to work and
you're like, why am I at work?
And why am I at work? And then I'm playing video games till 1 a.m. still, so I'm like getting like 4.5 hours of sleep.
The thing that I love most is when you were on vacation, you're like, I'm going to go to bed early so it doesn't have... And then you started work and you're like, up till 1 a.m.
Raids dropped. It's our weekly World of Warcraft check-in.
And later we'll talk about Fortnite.
Old year. We'll get to Fortnite later. But we are going to cover the drama around loot boxes yet again coming up. Getting a little trickier this time. And then, the games we're most looking forward to pretty much in Q4 of 2018 as we look to wrap up another strong gaming year. But in our weekly World of Warcraft check-in, I do want to just shout out, all the raids are out. I did complete normals. The raid's beautiful. Visually, really nice.
I like how at the beginning you're like, we're getting into WoW. You're like, yeah, I'll probably go in cash. And then Dave is like, further than I am.
I don't play. I don't play it often, but I want to raid. That's the only thing I really want to do. I know you have to do all these necklace quests, and I feel bad because I haven't done it.
Here's the thing, though, with you playing World of Warcraft. I feel like whenever I'm on Discord, I see Dave playing World of Warcraft. So
if I'm at my computer, I'm playing World of Warcraft.
That you're not playing World of Warcraft because I feel like the only time I'm on Discord, that's what I see.
But comparatively to the people who are in the guild, I don't play much, I guess is where that's going. But the raids are out. It looks great. If you haven't given it a shot yet, hopefully you do. I think normal modes and heroics are out. You can get to the rest of the shit later when it opens, but I'm excited. We're running into walls. We're dying a bunch. There was a weird bug. We came in the second night. I know we'll get to the actual show soon, but I just got to gush up. I mean, this is actually the show.
That's how it works.
So we drop in on night 2. We, first night of raiding goes great. We get to the last boss. We're 6% away from killing that final boss.
All right, we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, it was 1 a.m. I was done.
On a character you don't like playing.
I really don't. So we come back the next day, and I zone in. I'm the first one there. I'm ready to raid. I'll be like, cool. I'll be proactive about this. Let's do this. I jump in. You zone into the room. I take the teleporter to the last boss chamber, pretty much. And all of a sudden, the character just flies to the back of the room. There's gravity times 9,000 in this room for some reason. You can't move. You're just stuck against a wall like a freaking, you got slapped into it. And so I'm cracking up. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, zone in. So I just start telling everybody else, come on in there, come on in there. And one after another, just watch them go, whoop, whoop, right to the back of the room. So we had to chain together, this one ability, demonic portal that I have. So you can take, a teleport, 30 feet to the right. And we did that 3 times to get out of this room. And then I just summon everybody else. Literally, a 15-20 minute waster right off that, but it was cool. I was like, this is broken. This is clearly broken, but I'm enjoying it. But getting into the main topics of the day, actually, just a quick, we're going real fun today. Housekeeping. I forgot to do housekeeping because I'm forgetful like that.
That's fine.
Keep the house.
We'll get to it.
Keep the house. So, if you like what we do here, you can go on iTunes and rate us whatever you decide we're worth. I won't say 5 stars because I hope it's 5, but I saw someone in the comments get angry that we told them to rate us 5 stars.
That's why I say please.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying please rate us 5 stars.
If you think we're worth 5 stars, give us the 5 stars. I want honest opinions here. I don't want sheeple out there.
Yeah, you can give us a 0.
If you hate us, do that.
However, I will not stand, and I still say this, I will not stand for the primetime podcast one we got.
Yeah.
Where apparently we're a couple of good old boys that only talk about the SEC when we have talked about numerous things.
Exactly. You guys cover 75 teams across 3 sports. I don't even
teams.
That one I'm a little offended
Florida.
about. Don't forget Georgia.
And Georgia. All of them. All the teams.
Just like here, we talk about Fortnite,
World of Warcraft.
And Warcraft and Fortnite.
We cover all gaming things here. But again, iTunes, if you want to show us more support, you can hit us up on Patreon. And even jump on a show. If you want to donate at that $10 tier, you can jump on.
You could be our first.
You could be our first on Tool to Game. I think we're going to record a segment with Jake for the Fast Break in a couple days. Super excited. But yeah, let's actually just jump into things. I think I've sidetracked about 7 times already in this opening 5 minutes. So loot boxes, you guys hear the news. I know we've had a lot of controversy up to this point.
You mentioned loot boxes in our chat before we did the podcast, and when you said the word loot boxes, I went at my desk like, really? Again? Like loot boxes?
So here's the thing. Like, we started off, I know like Overwatch hit the fan with them first. They were the big guys who got knocked for it. Then Battlefront, obviously. Now 2K basically going out and asking for NBA 2K, which is going live, like I think it's actually tonight as we record this. Go ask your local government representative to, let them know your opinion on loot boxes and why you think they're better for the game that they're included.
My opinion is get fucking rid of them.
Thank you, Mark.
It's that simple. I don't understand. I mean, and maybe I'm cutting you off, or there's more to
this is exactly that. That's all I want to read. The rest of it is just garbage.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, one, I totally think it's fine for any company to be like, hey, we want you to talk to your representative about things. Like, that's fine. But you're asking people to talk to their representative about a thing that not a single gamer wants.
Yeah.
Nobody wants loot boxes. Everyone's sick of them. They tolerate them because that's just the era that we're in now.
It's true.
And why the hell are we having loot boxes in a basketball game? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I guess if they're doing, if like a, ultimate team type of stuff or things like that, it's like, all right, sure. But it's a sports game. Like, it doesn't make sense to have loot boxes.
There's no thematic, addition to the game.
Yeah.
It's a straight cash grab. Ricky, thoughts? Because you're a big loot box guy for Overwatch.
Well, that's a game I've always felt when everyone's come out and hated loot boxes. I've always said, well, look at Overwatch, look at Blizzard.
Yep.
Because I've always felt like those loot boxes aren't a bad thing. Everything in that loot box does not help you win a game.
Yep.
It is just, hey, I want this cool spray to put on a wall, or I want this cool skin for my character to wear, or I want this cool emote or this cool saying that my character can say. If it's things like that, where it's like it's not pay to win, then I'm fine with loot boxes. Because like with Overwatch, I can play a bunch, rack up experience
and
to get the loot boxes.
Yeah.
Or I can just, like, when they drop an event, I think it's like $40 for like the biggest bundle they
boxes,
have.
I think, yeah.
It's like every event when I was playing hardcore, I would just like, summer event, all right, drop $40, get the 50 loot boxes, get as many of those as I can get. Right off the front.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to use your money for that, then that's your choice. It's only a problem when it's pay to win for the loot boxes.
It's frustrating with, I think back to playing Hearthstone, and a friend of mine.
You buy all the good cards.
I got her into playing.
Yeah.
And she was, she was playing for like a first day, and I'm kicking her ass. Literally like 2 days later, we play a game again, and she's got all these fucking amazing cards out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I had shitty cards, and she did not pay any money, as far as I'm aware. She just got really damn lucky with those essentially loot boxes, the card packs. And just all of a sudden had all these amazing cards. I'm sitting there going, I still don't have any of these good cards that I want.
Was she playing more than you, though? Like a lot more than you?
Probably in that like 2 or 3 day time period, sure. But I mean, that was the thing. Like, she had just started and then was already having better cards. And it's like, this is bullshit. I've been playing this game for like months now.
Yeah, the quality of life really Hearthstone. There's an imbalance in power once you get certain cards.
And that's a problem of mine with any of those games where you build decks and stuff, deck building games, is that you get so far behind, and there's not a way to get back up.
Unless you pay.
Without money. That's actually the one reason why I love their Tavern Brawl, even though I haven't played it in forever, because that was like the nothing matters, we're giving you a deck. Or something like that.
Build your own deck out of these cards.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's like, okay, this is a good equalizer. But for these loot box, I just see this as a little bit more egregious than many things, because now you've crossed into sports games, and for me, like, that's something where it does not in any way, shape, or form belong in this type of a game, and it it rubs me the wrong way because this is kind of, for me, I see it almost as like there's no turning back from here. Like, we have crossed the threshold where it's like, all right, now we're stuck with these loot boxes because they're, it wasn't just the FPS games, it's not just these multiplayer games necessarily. Yep. Now we got it in a sports game too. Like, they're showing that they can cross over into anything to make it work because
it's free
profit.
Money.
It's profit.
It's free money because kids are kids. Us even like we've got money. I want it. It's instant gratification. Like, I want it. Yeah. I want it now.
And that's the thing too is like we're not really that target demographic.
No,
although we have money. It's those kids that don't get it. That's the thing. It's the kids that don't know any better. They're shooting for these 14, 15-year-olds or younger who are going to get access to mom and dad's credit card because they got it so they could automatically subscribe to PlayStation Plus every year. And you know what? That credit card's still on file. I can spend $20 on these cards or whatever.
It wasn't $20, but like I remember back when. Oh, fuck. This had to be like at least 7 or 8 years ago when we were in college. My sister's boyfriend at the time and myself would play NHL religiously.
Yeah.
And we would do their ultimate team, which is my favorite ultimate team because there's less roster spots for players. But there was one, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, one more pack, and I can get like this good card. And the packs were like maybe $2, and I was like, you know what? My mom's credit card's on this. I'm like, she ain't gonna miss $2. And like, I hit the button and bought it. Told her about everything. I was like, hey, Mom, is it cool if I buy this and this and this? She's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, because I was using her credit card.
Yep.
But that $2, I was like, and again, it's $2. It's like whoop-de-doo. But it's like, whatever. I'm just gonna do it. But there's some kids that might be out there going, hey, I'm gonna spend $20 and then
easily.
$40 and then $60.
I mean, this is crossing over to a little bit of different stuff with like freemium type of games.
Yeah.
But
any mobile game?
That whole game exists for that. They don't want to make money, or they want to, but they don't expect to make money off of 90% of their customers.
Yeah.
It's that like
it's the mobile
10% of them of their people that are supporting the entire game because they're the ones that are spending dollar, over and over and over again, and it adds up to hundreds, thousands for some of these people.
Oh, easily.
And that supports the whole thing, and it's very nefarious how they do it. It's malicious intent.
It's
for
predatory.
Them to, yeah, it's just they are trying to kind of trick people into doing it. And a lot of it based off of addiction and stuff like that. Loot boxes, we moved a little bit away from that. They're at least a little bit better in the sense of like they're not really as manipulative in the addiction part of some of these games. Some people might disagree with me on that, but I think that
gambling's gambling.
A game like Candy Crush is going to be different than a loot box you're going to get
from like CS:GO, where
exactly.
you're going for and getting weapon skins, and then you can then trade weapon skins for money, and
or even the ones
market.
where it is a little bit of pay to win. But it's still Candy Crush, and I'm not just talking about Candy Crush. I've never played it, but that type of game is specifically designed psychologically. That too. They design it psychologically to force you to pay money. It's fun at first. It's really fast paced. It's going great. Then the game slows down and slows down and slows down. So that way you want to, I'm not going to wait 2 days for this stupid village, whatever. To
Or
upgrade.
when you get to the point where it's like, fuck, I got to wait 2 weeks
Yeah.
for this. Fuck it. I'll spend the $100, get the gems. And then
$100.
There was times in Clash of Clans that I would be like, screw it. I got the money and I threw in the $100 for like the thousands of gems that they give you. I wouldn't spend them like all in that day. I would have them be like, okay, don't have to do this. I can buy this. And I did it in the sense of instead of speeding up things, it was more of a, I'm going to strategically drop this $100 and then spend it on resources so I can have like multiple things upgrading and then be like, fuck it, I ain't going to touch it for 2 weeks. And then come back and my base is awesome and I've got all these troops that
Look,
are
man, you
upgraded.
rationalize it however you want to.
Yeah,
$100 in a mobile
was,
game.
it was an addiction at the time.
Addiction, yeah.
But there was
It's
a
legit.
reason why in my clan, whenever we went into a clan war,
Top notch.
I was number 2. I was the number 2 base that they had to go up against compared to everyone else in our clan.
No,
Because you're spending the money.
exactly. I think that's one of the most interesting things is the level of addiction that goes into it. I'm sort of happy that Belgium went out and was like, hey, we're banning gambling. It's cut out. Overwatch removed their loot boxes. Here's a Storm removed their loot boxes, or the paid ones, I should say. The paid for loot boxes. CS:GO, same thing. You can't open loot cases anymore. It's just not a thing. So I applaud them for doing that, and I think it's incredibly underhanded that 2K is out there pushing the go contact your representative because you totally want this feature back. You definitely want it. Come on, guys.
It's a business. They want to make money.
I know,
Yeah.
but do you think we're ever going to get to the point where, we see a couple of countries banning the practice? Do you think across gaming it's going to ever hit that point? Or do you think everybody's going to... I know there's no, worldwide gaming council, but, I feel like at some point it's just going to have enough of a bad reputation that's, that's been blacklisted from gaming. You just don't do that anymore.
I hope so.
I think we'll get what we saw in China before Belgium, where in China... the Chinese government made it be like, all right, if you're going to have loot boxes, you have to put out all of your percentages. And Overwatch was the one where it's like, all right, this skin, you have this percentage to get that skin, the exact percentage.
But people are dumb and they don't get it.
Yeah, but they saw it as gambling and they're like, people need to know the odds to get it. I think we would get that before we get another country going, no, banning loot boxes. Because it also depends on, the broader scope is when you get when governments and games don't mix, because the government doesn't understand what's best for the gaming world.
You mean a bunch of old white guys don't get it?
Exactly.
What?
Like what I said. Loot boxes loot boxes like Overwatch
Right.
don't affect anything, are not bad in my mind.
Yeah.
Loot boxes that are in the sense of the Clash of Clans gems and microtransactions.
Closer to pay to win,
those are bad. Pay to win bad. What Overwatch is doing
Cosmetic.
not bad. Yeah.
And I feel like eventually we probably will get that because, people have heard the stories of that parent that was like, why do I have thousands of dollars of credit card debt? Now, because I was playing this game and I just wanted more gems or whatever. So I more and more things like that, if they happen and they continue to happen, then sure. But if it's the cosmetic things, if it's the Madden Ultimate Team or whatever, I can't see those going away anytime soon.
I also feel like with that kind of a thing of oh, why do I have all this money racked up? As parents, as we go on and more parents grow up with technology, when our generation becomes parents and then so forth and so forth,
Right.
there's going to be a lot more parents that are kind of smarter to the, all right, link it, buy it, and then, all right, let me see you go in, unlink it, and then being smarter to that.
But here's the thing, though. You think that until the technology advances beyond us, because we're in this room, we're old already, but we're still
tech savvy.
Yeah, we're still tech savvy. It's not going to take that many more years for these young kids to be doing things that we look at and go, what is going on? What is that you're doing?
Absolutely. The rate tech is jumping is incredible, and I'm always afraid because I see those people in their 40s, and even in my office, it's they're confused by the basics of a computer. I'm like, I don't ever want to be that person with something in the future. I'm taking a mental note of it, and I know it's inevitable.
And I'm not going to say it's going to happen for sure. There will be some people like that, but I feel like what Dave was saying, there will be a lot of us in our generation that it's we grew up with technology to where more and more people be when the new thing comes out, they want to be up to snuff with it because ooh, it's the next hot thing in technology. Tech is cool now. Silicon Valley is cool. Having the new iPhone as soon as it drops,
it's sexy.
Exactly.
I think absolutely.
It's the next big
that's the way
thing.
the culture shifted in the last 6 years probably.
But until that new tech is the implant in your head, and all of a sudden it's different.
Shit. Yeah.
So,
What? If
They
we- if
already
we-
have that. They got the one that you can put in your wrist or something.
I mean, those are they're cool futuristic ideas. I look forward to that stuff though. But wrapping up the loot box conversation, wrapping up the idea of perhaps a regulation or a ruling across, what game makers can and can't do. Is it weird that I sort of want, I know it sounds awful, it sounds opposite of what you should want, but like a consensus regulatory board on like, you can do this, you can't do this in video games. Almost like, I know it's stupid because I look at like the stuff that, that exists for already. I'm like, those are serious things. Video games are fun, they're creative. You do whatever you want, but I almost like I want like a list, like even if it's like the unofficial written rules of game making. It's like you don't do this.
Yeah.
You don't make games that are like I don't know offensive in whatever manner. Like there are certain things where I feel like those should just be off the list, and I think that until something major happens, like companies are going to keep shoving loot boxes down people's throats because it's effective, it keeps working, they keep getting paid for it. It's the same with mobile games. Like, how long have we been playing? How long mobile games been a thing? It's always been a cash grab. It's always the same end goal, and I don't see that really changing anytime soon. So it's almost disappointing outlook that like until people like get slapped over the wrist enough times being told no by countries saying we're not supporting this form of gambling. Like even that's like a loophole, but like. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I'm at a loss almost.
It worries me a little bit for something like that because it reminds me of in movies with the Hays Code, and I had to look up the name exactly of it, which was the code that said you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this in movies. The reason why old movies from the 30s and 40s and stuff like that, you'll never see a married couple sleep in the same bed. And just random little things like that of weird things because they didn't want it to be too racy.
Because at the time,
Yeah, exactly. And, we already have a little bit of that with video games. Find me a video game, at least a popular video game where you can kill a child, besides The Sims.
I was saying, besides The Sims, I remember that controversial scene in Call of Duty when you went through the airport as a terrorist, and it was like, well, you technically don't have to shoot anyone.
Yeah.
You chose to shoot innocent people.
But, I mean, that's
if you give me the option, though, like, it's...
Well, I don't think most people thought that there was an option.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
The game goads you into it. Like, the voice actor actually does.
I played that game as, like, a teenager, and it's just, like... That's another level of, like, another debate of, hey, I'm in a game, I know it's fantasy, but not all people think the same.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was like, I'm a dumb kid. It's like, whatever. Like, this is what the game wants me to do. Fucking just do it and just spray. And
what do I care if these polygons are innocent or guilty? It's just a game.
But, like, what was the difference between that game and Grand Theft Auto, where you can kill as many people on the street as you want?
But they didn't actually show you having sex with the prostitutes. That's where they drew the line.
But I just mean, like, you can walk down the street and just killing everybody you want. What's the difference between that and then this point you were in an airport killing people? The fact that you were a terrorist, I guess. But, I mean, aren't you a terrorist in Grand Theft Auto? But anyways,
if you want to be one,
it always comes back
even
to violence in video games.
You pretty much are, because you have to blow stuff up with rocket launchers at times and stuff. But there are some things. No one's going to release a game where they kill a child because they don't want to be the developer that released a game where you kill a child.
I can't think of
Well, I mean,
there's so many things.
Just look at God of War.
Games that are showing actual sex or something like that.
Remember when God of War was giving like the not so subtle nod to like having sex while playing the game.
In the first one, there was one where you can have sex with two like girls in a hot tub.
Do you remember how controversial that was?
Yeah,
like, that was insane.
But, like, I mean, even the Mass Effect bullshit scene where it's like, all right, they kind of go into a bed and it fades out.
Right,
that was controversial because you could have lesbians, in it and stuff like that.
Oh God, forbid that happens.
But I mean, the latest God of War, they did the game. Then just their developers played the game. Yeah. And then said, yeah, we need to rework this game because they were afraid that the Kratos that they originally made borderlined on child abuse. Oh, like that is how cruel, like, because they made him true to his character. Right. So he was horrible to his son. Yeah. And they're like, we can't do this because people are going to get the wrong image and think he's like a child abuser and it's not going to land right.
And that's a totally long conversation that we could have of like what is okay, what is too far for video games.
The ethics of video games.
And the art of it, because in the sense of art, I'm going to be the person that says, I don't care what you do. Nothing is too far because it's art.
Right.
But at the same time, when it comes to corporations and stuff like that, and the reality of it, you know, you probably shouldn't have a game where, you know, you are a psychopath who stalks women and murders them. You know, that's probably not a good game that we should make.
But imagine
right?
all the avenues we haven't addressed by not making that game. Like, that could have some really crazy gameplay. It's like Splinter Cell, but on the wrong, you know,
right? I mean,
context.
But that's the thing.
And then you got Leisure
You know?
Shoot, I can't say it.
Leisure
Suit
Suit
Larry.
Larry.
You have games like that, too, that are like, they're made, they're out there.
There are games.
To be fair,
rated
that game's
X.
like 30 years old.
You know, there are games for that
we're
you
too old
can't
to
buy.
game, Dave.
Like an M is sure, like you can't buy if you're 17, but there's games that are for it's not X, it's AO, adult only. There are adult only games
Like the
out
dating
there.
sim games that are
The
little
dating
bit
sims
like
usually
that.
are not adult only, but I'm talking about games that have like legit sex in them and stuff. That's not a dating sim. Dating sim is a very different thing.
I'm just saying, some of the dating sim ones
Are
that I've
pretty-
seen
are kinda weird.
pretty racy,
Yeah.
with what they show.
Well, but they get away with it by like it's birds.
It's a picture.
No, they'll be like, it's not, you know, like you trying to bang.
It's a
You know,
humanoid bird.
I
Like
would
a
say
6-year-old?
preschool. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes that's what the character looks like.
Now, that's
right?
an area
In
gaming
anime.
hasn't gone to, thankfully.
But no, I'm saying in that case they switch it and it's like it's not a high schooler, it's a cricket. You know?
Oh, my God.
And it's like, all right, yeah, but it's still like a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
It's still weird.
It's still
Persona
wrong.
even got with that. Persona 5.
Really?
You can start a relationship with like a kid who's like 14. And that's a spoiler for Persona, I guess. But one of the characters you can start a relationship is like arguably 13 or 14 years old. And you're 16, 17, maybe 18. I don't remember how old the main character is. But yeah, and she's like one of the coolest characters. She's into video games. She's really fun, but it feels really weird.
Right? Because you know in your head that's...
You know in your head this is totally wrong.
Yeah.
But it just kind of skates by, and it's just like,
I wonder
all right.
why they made her that cool character, Mark.
I would say, do you think that was an intentional, like, mind game by the devs?
To be like, are you going to go with it? Are you going to get it? But yeah, it's just... I don't even 100% know where we're going at the moment because we've spun.
We went
I
into,
love
times.
podcasts like this.
I think we've gone into the area of,
It
like...
just goes into a tangent.
You know, what in gaming is okay anymore.
Ethics of gaming.
The ethics of gaming. I think it's an awesome topic, and I'm sure other people have talked about it, but it's something that, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I haven't heard anyone really go through, you know, some of the scenarios. It's just like, it's interesting that we're at where we're at because there's never been a time with more creative freedom than now, but there's also never been a time with such immense pressure placed on people, like reactionary. You know, you put out something, and all of a sudden, people are going to boycott you. They're going to dig up everything terrible.
Yeah.
They're going to make this seem like you've committed the worst crime against nature by putting this game out there.
And I'm going to cut you off and throw this out there.
That's what you do.
First off, like as you're thinking, as you're talking, I was thinking the thing that gaming, because I'm thinking videos or TV to gaming.
Right.
Gaming is different because you're immersed in it. You are actually playing the character, or it's like you're actually doing the
You have
movements.
control.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like I thought of, because I've seen commercials, I've seen movies for it, I've seen commercials for it when I watch my WWE stuff for the last like month or two.
Yeah.
It's like, how is something like The Purge, like when you look at The Purge and what that whole thing is about, you look at it and it's like, I'm not saying that I have a problem with it, but it's like, that should be something that people get all up in arms about. But if it was in a video game, then people would have a problem with it.
Oh,
like
for
that's
sure.
what I feel
mean,
like.
I love The
what's
Purge
double
from a
standard?
premise and a statement standpoint of what, you know, they're trying to point out about the current state of things.
But really, it's just
But-
killing too. They go, all crime is legal, but we're just going to
That's my
focus
fucking
on
problem
killing.
with that movie is that everyone jumps to murder. Like nobody tries to just rob something or like steal a computer from work.
I'm not gonna
no, they
advocate
just murder
for it.
each other.
Did you watch, you know, all of them? Have you seen?
No,
The
because
Purge?
there's way
Okay.
too many of these movies.
I think there's 3, and
Now
then the
there's a
series.
And now
TV
there's a TV
series.
show.
Yeah.
Like
The
that's
second
too
one
much.
was
It does
good.
not need to be that much.
Like the first one was okay. The second one was better. I think. I don't know. Great premise, but you're right. It's like we all know why we're here. We're saying everything's legal, but
Yeah.
really you're here
You
to
just wanna
watch
kill
this movie,
people.
to watch people be murdered, and the struggle to not be murdered.
Right.
Like that's all that was.
yeah, and there's
initially.
maybe I'm...
It's gotten bigger.
Which is weird, because I'm actually a pretty cynical person most of the time, but like maybe I'm too optimistic at this point, where I'm like, if the Purge was actually a thing, I am willing to bet most people would not physically harm each other. There will be people that would, but the majority of the people out there are going to be like, well...
I've got morals and shit.
I'm just gonna run through a red light and get home faster.
Yeah.
Like that's what the majority of the people are actually going to do.
They're not going to jump off the deep end.
Raid a Best Buy. I feel like that's where my morality tips is like.
Those things
I could
probably
really
could.
use.
And like that's another thing of like you say that like you see the Purge and it's like all the like higher class, which is like we're just gonna lock ourselves in here and we're gonna
in
do
our
that
mansions with our security systems.
And I'm sitting there going, you're telling me all crime is legal and you're not gonna embezzle anything.
Well, they can do that
you're
while
saying-
locked in their house.
They fucked over enough people.
But they don't
all
show
year
it or
round.
like focus in on that. It's like you're not going to show me that none of these people are trying to get.
They do that
more
year
money.
round.
Yeah, but now it's legal, Dave.
Well, I could
Right.
stop that. Those people didn't have morals in the first place. Is
True.
the point it's trying to prove.
But that's
you know?
that raises a question with the Purge. Is like, okay, so if you murder somebody, the Purge is happening right now, and you murder somebody.
Yep.
That's done. That was a 1 day thing.
100%
All
legal.
right.
Yep.
But if you
You have to live with
embezzled
that.
some money, you are still probably doing something with that money the next day.
The
which is
action,
no longer.
the action taken during that time,
Unless you
are
embezzle it and use
legal.
it right away.
But that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
the money's all yours. The
Okay.
act of embezzling is
Oh,
legal.
okay.
Money itself is not illegal. Being transferred, you know. So that's the thing. So I don't know, but I agree with you on the aspect of like going
If it was a
from
game,
I think there would be more controversy. But as a movie, as a cinema that you don't actually interact with. No, that's okay.
Well,
That's
plus
an
it's
interesting
kind
statement.
of popular to hate on, like from the. I hate to put it in a political sense, but in the more like conservative sense, it's kind of popular to hate on
violence
games
in video games
because it's a good scapegoat. Movies, we've lost that battle. You're never going to make movies not violent.
Yeah, it's true.
You're never going to make TV shows not violent, not
That's
swear,
the
things like that. It's not going to happen.
nature.
It's been done. We've lost that battle. But video games, that's one they can still fight.
You guys saw that game that this was like months ago. That it was basically it was like an indie game. This developer made it, and they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to be like the first half of it was you could choose to, all right, active shooter in a school.
Right.
What do you do if an active shooter's in there?" But then they had the option of, you could be the active shooter, and everyone like. I was sitting there going, wrong time, buddy.
Well, it's
wrong
to be
time
fair,
for
like
this
bowling.
game.
Rockstar's Bully, which is a game about being a bully, would totally be unacceptable in today's era. But it was an awesome game at the time.
I mean, it kicked a little controversy, but nowhere near the levels that stuff does now. And that's funny because, like, I think back to like when I was playing like Counter-Strike, and I'm like, I at one point, wanted to make a map of my high school because I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool to play Counter-Strike here.
Yeah.
Like, got all the classrooms and stuff. Like, I'm in a secluded little bubble in my own world where things like this don't happen. I didn't even think about like, okay, there's been school shootings. That's probably a bad idea.
Well, there was also a difference when we were in high school.
True.
There was like
That-
three,
literally
school
I think
shootings.
two.
There was Columbine, NIU,
that was
Virginia Tech.
Virginia
No,
Tech.
that was after we've already
No,
graduated.
Virginia Tech was in high school.
That was in high school
Uh-huh,
still?
we were juniors.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was
Yeah.
like three of
Okay, so
these
three, yeah.
shootings, and that was about it. Now there's like one a week.
Yikes.
That's kind of a difference.
It's
but-
true. It's true. Different world.
Yeah, I mean, it's popular to hate on that. When it comes to the ethics of things, though, I mean, it's kind of a generally accepted thing that you probably shouldn't make a game where someone is like almost psychologically. That's not necessarily the word. Think of Criminal Minds.
I say, can you make a game about a serial killer and
Right.
be the serial killer?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, would you play a Jack the Ripper game? Like, would you play as Jack the Ripper? Maybe, because it's a historical
What
thing.
about if it's a
but
Joker game?
You probably wouldn't play the game where you're like just being Jack the Ripper, but not Jack the Ripper.
I like it with Joker because that kind of
'Cause
takes
that's
it
like
from
you're a
real
character.
world to now it's comic booky.
Yeah.
And
that
now
would
now
make
it
it kind of
has
okay.
the guise of.
But he's mentally ill and
Yeah, but
He's
it would
deranged.
psychotic.
still be
Yeah.
okay to make a game where you are mentally deranged.
Right, and that
you know?
I think that actually is like that is a fringe case where I wonder if that could be done because technically, the Joker does an amazing amount of evil, but at the same time, it would be interesting to see every single time Batman comes in, saves the day at the end of every single attempt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you would end a game like that,
Or
but like
maybe Batman loses.
that would be terrifying. Because you imagine the final thing is like the Riddler, or not the Riddler, the Joker gets what he wants. And I don't even know at this point because it depends on which point of canon you're talking about for the Joker for his end game. But like, say it's murder, say it's, you know, something terrible, like, and that's how the game ends, like, and I was successful. And it's just like the Joker sitting in a fucking like king's chair and just like feet up.
Yeah.
And like that would be the wildest game. And I'm going, could that be made in today's day and age?
I feel like the thing that's different about that is where I think of like, if you've ever seen Criminal Minds or something like that, think about those really, like, think of Scratch or something, one of those characters, where just this guy who's totally insane, who's going and doing everything. But there's a difference between the Joker, where it's going to be like, I'm going to do fun little things, and it's going to, beat up Batman. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
And a guy who's going to...
Mark, you're a professional at handling that.
Right. And the guy who's going to, like, use your child as a hostage in order to get you to murder somebody else. Like, and isn't a cartoon character. Comic book, don't yell at me. Like, there's that difference of if it's, like, a real gritty person, it's probably not going to be okay. And I think that's fair.
I mean, if we go like straight up out of like Heath Ledger Joker, and you're like, your whole job is, okay, I'm gonna get these guys. I'm gonna put criminals on one boat. I'm gonna put the normal people on the other, and be
choose
like,
one.
all right, choose one, and you put them, and like your whole thing is, I've got to scheme a way to do this. Like, I'm just saying, the gameplay could be there. The morality is definitely questionable. You've got the benefit of the doubt with it being a video or a comic book character, so it takes a little bit of the realism away. Do you think that'd be acceptable to have a game where your end goal is to commit a violent crime?
I wasn't before you answer that, the only thing I was going to interject is, didn't Detroit Become Human kind of do, not that exact thing, but like, hey, we're going to have choices that may be a little bit more risky, but we can do it because technically your character and like some of the other characters are androids, not actual people.
I'll be honest, I did not follow Detroit Become Human
I know they did
super
the
closely
whole,
at all.
I own it. I haven't played it yet.
There was
man.
was one scene where it's like, you're a cop, you come in with the gun, and it's like, you have to choose what to do, and if you choose wrong, the android shoots the human that he has as a hostage. And then it's like, oh, you got to live with that.
No, but it's not a game that I've played yet, even though I have it. But I do think that those type of games are those you make the choice. But even a choice like that's not necessarily thinking so bad. I think what Dave's saying of like a character that's going to like torture somebody.
Your end goal
like
is chaotic evil.
And in a Joker game, like, I think I would play that because it's the Joker. But if it was like just, you're playing Joe Schmo off the street and you're going to go kill some prostitutes today because, because the voice in your head told you should kill some prostitutes, and you believe that if you don't, the world's going to end or something like that, like, that's probably a step too far. Like, that's probably a game we shouldn't make. Art-wise, like I said before, the art of it, like, okay, you can, I guess, say there's some artistic value in that, but we probably shouldn't make that. What's
your message to come out of a game like that? What do you want your audience to experience as you play that game? Because I think that's like the artistic expression coming out. Like, if you're taking me on this trail through this horrible game, this truly messed up mind, like, what do you want me to feel? What do you want me to experience? What do you want me to take away from that experience?
Understand the horrors of mental illness.
Like, I think it could be like a super like twist ending, like M. Night Shyamalan, this shit, where it's like the whole time you think you're doing great, you're killing it, and at the end it's like you hit that realization phase, like, oh shit, those things that I thought I was doing.
Are we the baddies?
Like, are we the baddies?
Yeah.
Like, it twists it. Like, maybe like it shows you one thing like you're doing it the first time, and then like somehow it's like a clip back at the end of the game where it's like, and here's you not doing what you thought you were doing. You were actually doing X.
Yeah, I feel like that was a movie or something like that where like the guy thought he was like fighting some people, and then the reality flashes of it, and it's like, oh nope, he's like killing his family.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, and that, I don't know. I just think there's a lot that could go there, but what is really pushing the line of morality? If saying an end game of committing, a true violent crime or committing some atrocity to humanity, do you think that a game like that could get A, published, and B, would either be successful, unsuccessful, or would be, controversial to the point of like held up?
I think it struggles to get published by the big developers and the big publishers, I should say. But in time where indie games are so popular nowadays, you could kind of probably get away with releasing it indie, although you'll get a lot less backlash, I guess, because it can just be like shunned and thrown away.
I mean, we've seen some indie games really take off too, though.
Yeah, but they would be easier for everyone to be like, oh no, okay, we're not doing that. That's we're not playing as a rapist. Like that's not okay. Something like that. But you do kind of get that. I think part of it's the intent of it. You can get away with the Joker because it's this comic book story, so that's different. Where if you're just playing,
you can't play as Hitler.
Yeah, if you're playing as Hitler, that intent is very different. Of like, all right, this is pure evil right now. If you're playing as a guy who just likes to murder college students because, of whatever happened when he was a child and now he wants to murder college students. Yeah. Okay, there's really no intent there. Like, there's no rational reason beyond just kind of evil. Yeah. To put it bluntly.
Ricky, thoughts?
Right now, you see me like
I see
you're scouring away
for something.
There it is. So, like the thing that I thought of, and I never played this game because I'm the kind of guy where like if I watched Markiplier play this game. Like he came out with this video. God, how long ago was it? January 11th, 2015.
Okay, so we got like 3.5 years
ago. Yeah. And when you guys were talking about like when Mark said the trigger word of mental illness, I was like, oh, yeah. I remember watching a game that Markiplier played, and I was just searching for it. It's called Presentable Liberty, and in that one,
which is funny with his head over it, just says sensible liberty. Like, that's not even a word.
But it's an hour gameplay, and like the gameplay isn't that great. Yeah, but what the whole game is, and spoilers if you want to play it, go play it. Pause here. But basically the whole thing is it's first person. You're in a jail cell, like a single jail cell. Yeah. And you just have that, like, it's just you.
Yep.
But then every once, like, there's letters that would come through, like, the little hole, and there's things you have to do. But it's like, through the whole thing, the point is you're getting to know this person, and it's a female character. And then
just
at the
V
end,
for Vendetta in this?
You finally get out. And when you get out, you go to find her, and it's basically she kills herself.
Isn't that literally the middle premise of V for Vendetta?
I have no idea.
When I just scene where he's like literally like showing her, she's in the jail cell or what she thinks is a jail cell. Yeah, he's handing through the notes to her. Like that's eerily reminiscent and maybe spot on of that.
Well, it also is reminding me of something that's very, very different. But the game Emily is Away. And you get to this weird part in it where, like...
Is that the one where you're, like, in the house and it's like, oh, don't look at Emily? Like,
no.
And it's a horror game?
Nope, not even slightly.
Okay.
It's a game where you're basically playing instant message.
Okay.
And you get to a point where, like... It's a really fun game. It's a really cool thing. I think the first one's free, so you should check it out. It takes, like, 5 minutes to play it. But, you're saying, like, you're going year to year to year having conversations on AIM with this person Emily who you have a crush on at some point probably, or maybe not. You get to make a choice. But anyways, at one point it's like implied that you two like maybe hook up or something like that. But there was also alcohol involved in it, and the character's like, did you do that like, did you try and get me drunk on purpose? And like you just have this weird thing where all of a sudden you're like, I was having fun, and like, oh, now I feel really bad because like this character that I'm playing and I'm kind of thinking it's character's me, and maybe
you're putting yourself
just
into the shoes of that character.
Maybe I just did something bad. And now I feel bad about it.
But that's interesting though.
It's an indie game, obviously.
Of course.
And kind of going back to, because like Mark said, what if like you put a game where you are a like psychotic character, and this is me going comic booky again. Yeah. What if someone disguised it in a way of like, all right, we're going to make a Carnage video game. because then you're playing a distinct character.
I mean,
but Cassidy is psychotic.
I mean, you can do that with Punisher. You can do that with. I mean, honestly, Max Payne wasn't that far removed from it.
I say Hitman. I mean,
and they're coming out with another Hitman game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Venom movie that's coming out now is that like sort of like pseudo bad, pseudo good. It's kind of middle ground.
Yeah, he's anti-hero because that's Lethal Protector storyline.
Okay.
So he's the pure anti-hero. Eddie Brock wants to do good, but the Venom suit wants to
do
it
bad.
his way. Yeah.
You want to do good? I want to do bad.
Yeah, so simple.
I want to get a Nightblood video game. That'd be fucking perfect for if any fans of the Stormlight Archives or Warbreaker. This is our second time we've mentioned Brandon Sanderson on this podcast. A sword who just wants to destroy evil really, really badly and doesn't understand what that word means.
Yeah.
So we'll destroy anything.
No, I know. I love it. There was also, and we're just keep riffing off that because there's something like brainworm stuck up here going, Critical Role. You said a sword to destroy evil. There was I want to say an axe in Critical Role. I forget if it was, I think it was the first campaign where it was like literally like, I'm here, and it had a soul. It was talking to him. It was whispering in his ear the entire time. Not maddening, but it was like the
Hey,
I'm
we should
here.
do this.
You should feed me. Feed me more blood. Feed me more. Feed me more blood from these people.
I don't care where you get
and
it.
like I think it did.
Okay.
And that's why I was like, oh man, this is getting good. And you get the little goosebumps because like he leans into it more. And he's like, oh, so my character's gonna make some decisions based off this sword, whispering things in his ear. So maybe I don't need to kill some people. I might just kill some people anyway. Like that kind of like morality clause to it.
Yeah,
adds a little bit of fun. But boys, we've I don't know where we ended up at.
I like when topics go into new things.
But this is interesting. But I do want to go and kind of end the show on a positive note. Let's add some rays of sunshine a lighter note, some rays of sunshine.
Because these games don't exist, so we can't look forward to them.
Honestly, though, I think we might be putting together a masterpiece out there at some point. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just make it the worst game ever.
Someone would play it.
But the year's weirdly almost over. We've hit. We're past the halfway point. There's been some great drops in the first half of the year. But for the next couple months,
this month ends third quarter.
Yeah.
Of the year.
And Ricky, I'm going to say this with the asterisk that this game is out technically today. You own the game.
Yes.
You haven't played it yet. But Spider-Man does not count for games you're most looking forward to play right now.
Well, and all I'm going to say is super hyped to play it. My limited edition, because I know it's not going to be
so
limited
dope.
edition. It's still not out of the box yet. I haven't set it up yet.
You didn't crack the seal?
See, that's the most fun part when you open it.
Well, I was
Seriously.
the thing I was really debating
Unveiling video?
was not an unveiling
on
video,
YouTube?
unveiling podcast, like doing it right now on the podcast.
You could have done it. This is the place to do it.
It was kind of rainy today, and I didn't want to risk it.
home.
No, I agree with you.
An hour
I
ago to
didn't
get the
risk
card.
the PlayStation.
Not on the rain part, just the fact that our camera was on the other side of the room, and we had to move Jenny.
Yeah, we
And
did.
Yeah.
Jenny's sitting in the
still
corner.
upset.
It's just
about
it's
this.
awkward. It's right there.
Yeah, I just
don't make eye contact.
I didn't want to risk it, so that's why I didn't bring it. But I will be streaming Spider-Man as this video is up. If you're seeing it on Friday,
Yeah.
basically when I get home from work on Friday, I'm setting it up, I'm putting Twitch on, and I'm just gonna play Spider-Man until I get bored, which will be
20 hours later when you complete the story mode. You're
fast
sick of
break on
swinging
Saturday.
around.
Hey guys, I can't. I either need to sleep or get platinum in this. I think I might just go for the platinum in it.
Right out the gate.
There
I
you
might
go.
just go.
It's a
That's going to
bold
be like a
move.
full day of
to claim that I'm
gameplay.
going for it. Especially
I'm
in a
holding
game
to
like
it.
that where there's so
I feel like there's a
many
lot of
little
extras.
dumb
I
things
feel
they're
like I'm
going
going
to
to love
do.
it though.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to love it.
Was like the Batman games. Find the 100
God.
question marks in this city. Oh,
I
Did you
did-
see that
I did
post on
that,
Reddit
though.
today?
no.
There was literally like one of the top posts on Reddit was a guy who had platinumed all of the Arkham games. I was like,
God,
Jesus Christ.
That's too much.
You hate your life,
The
don't
first
you?
Arkham game, I actually did that and found all the question marks. And the good thing they did with that was they gave you like an extra story thing where you fight the Riddler. And I was like,
Yeah.
thank you for paying this off to
Right,
where
at
it's
least
not
there's
like,
some
making it
win
something.
there.
yeah, it's like I get to face the Riddler because I found all his riddles.
Yeah.
All right, then Mark, I'll jump to you
Cool.
while Ricky thinks of a game that actually
got
isn't out. out yet.
I've got tons of them, but go to Mark.
Mark, what do you got?
I don't have tons of them. I really there's not really that many things that I'm that excited about in this fall.
No, that's fair. It's not the strongest lap to end the year. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for games. There's lots of titles I recognize, but
Yeah,
nothing shouts at me
There's
yet.
ones where I'm like, at a different time, yeah, I probably would have paid the money for it. But now I'm sitting there going, I don't have that much time. I got the money because that's
Yeah.
the unfortunate part about growing up. You get the money to play games, you just don't have the time.
It's the saddest realization in the world, to be honest.
But obviously, Farming Simulator 19, I'm very excited about.
Dope.
To farm. Gotta farm all day. But no, my like total, this is the pick for me is Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't necessarily have faith that it's going to be as good as I want it to be.
Were you a huge Red Dead 1 guy?
Red Dead Redemption it was a lot of fun, but the thing was I had so much fun playing it. The online mode, which was kind of bare bones, it wasn't like what GTA Online is, which is what they're gonna end up making this, I'm sure, just like that, and it not what I want it to be. But it was just this very fun kind of thing, and you could go do little things, but you could also just go and, you know, raise your bounty and stuff like that and just be a dick to each other. And I had fun playing it with my friends, and that's part of the thing where I'm like, I think back to the story was good. It wasn't necessarily the most amazing thing in the world, but it was good. It was a fun gameplay. But I think back and I'm like, I'm not going to have those same times playing this game with my friends. They probably ruined the online mode anyways because GTA Online sucked. Sorry to fans of it. It was not what it should be. And it's probably just not going to be as good as... The game probably won't be as good as I... Not necessarily as good as I want it to be. I just don't think it's going to be what I want it to be.
Right.
Which worries me. But it's still probably the game I'm most excited about.
The thing is, this is one that I'm kind of on the fence on. Like, I'm not excited for because I didn't play Red Dead Redemption #1.
And you don't... you can't... It bothers me...
When I throw in the 1.
Yeah, when you throw in the
because
one.
it's not a 1. It's just Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, the first game. I never played the first
It's not
one.
the first game either, though. That's the problem.
This is 2.
It's
That was
Red
the
Dead
first.
Redemption.
because they messed up the stupid titles with the numbers. It's
So
dumb. Anyways.
basically, what I'm saying is, the thing is, as I'm listening to other podcasts talk about this game, the thing that made me interested a little bit in it is, and made me kind of wish that I played Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Is like I was listening to Greg Miller, and he was talking about there's this one scene from Red Dead Redemption where it's basically you go into a house, there's this old guy, the mission or whatever ends, and you walk out of the house, and he's like based off of what happened, like the guy's all alone, this, that. He's like, I can't let him live like this. He's not going to do it. I have to do it for him. And he walked back into the house, talking about ethics and games. The game didn't tell him to do this.
Yeah.
He walked into the house, said, I wouldn't want anybody to live like this, capped the guy, and then was like, you know what? That's what I have to do.
That reminds me, I'm going to put a quick pause on this conversation to throw a shout out to one of my favorite moral dilemma type of games was actually the ending of The Last of Us. Not the Ellie Joel conversation, but when you bust into the operating room and you just murder everybody and you didn't have a choice. You had to shoot every one of those people.
Yeah.
And the debate was some people being like, I didn't want to kill these people. And other people being like, even if they gave me a choice, I was going to murder every person in that room.
That was
awesome
the part when he was that
dilemma.
the part where he was still trying to find, before he finds Ellie?
That's when he found Ellie.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm worried
I
about
was
Last
gonna
of
say,
Us spoilers.
that's
but-
fine.
We got to replay that game
love that
before the
game.
new one comes out.
Anyways, unpause. Go back to your
Yeah,
your
I mean, it
ones
just
you're looking forward
like
to.
that to me is like this isn't a game I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely a little interested based off of that, where it's like the game didn't tell me I had to do this, but I can make decisions like that where it's like, hey, you know what? This is a moral thing where I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this because that's
best
what
part
I would
about
think of.
Red Dead Redemption was you could go pick some flowers. and catch some butterflies.
Just some
and
herbalism,
stuff.
man. Pick up herbalism.
I remember yelling
as
at
a profession.
at a different Dave Watt. Once again, I say his last
Bearded
name in a
Dave.
podcast.
It's interesting, Dave. We all know it. Let's be
And
honest.
I should just refer to him as Dr. Dave because he's a doctor. But
Quick aside, we're actually me, Sean, and Dave were talking about that on the way to the draft, and Dave's like, "I used to be the cool Dave. I was the Dave." And then we met Dave Watt, and he's like, "I knew where the pecking order
doctor,
was."
archaeologist, and whatnot.
I'd say he's fucking Indiana Jones. It's
Yeah.
not fair.
And he's got a rockin' beard.
But
I know.
because he's an
Now I'm
archaeologist.
just adequate, Dave.
In this game, he would just go pick flowers, and we'd all get mad at him because like, Dave, we want to do this thing. Come here and do this thing. He's like,
He's
yeah,
an
hold on, I'm looking for some flowers.
yeah, he's an archaeologist,
Yeah.
man. That's what he does.
Man lives an interesting life. No credit away from there. For me though, I'm honestly I'm in a toss up. Like I want to look
good
forward
one.
to Starlink.
Yeah.
Like I think Starlink looks like it has potential to be a great game,
It does,
but also
it
has
really
potential
does.
to be another No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Which scares the shit out of me.
There was like
But you
five.
get
of
to
those,
play as Star Fox, Dave.
There was like 5 of those games after E3 that were like, hey, No Man's Sky disappointed everybody, so we're gonna try and pick up where they left off.
Open worlds, explore universe, some flight, a little bit of fun, a lot of exploring. It has the makings of what could be a very good game. Everyone says now No Man's Sky is a fun game now.
Yeah, I played
now
it.
at this point.
I played it when it first
just
came out, and
don't-
I played it after some of the updates, and it was like, oh yeah, they did add some cool stuff.
But it's not
But it
enough to
wasn't
make me want
enough.
to play it.
Yeah, it wasn't
So
enough.
that's why I look at Starlink and I'm like, I hope you're good. But if you're not good, my backup plans, Spyro, what is it called? Spyro, it's not remastered, it's reignited.
And that one I got upset because it was supposed to come out this month, but it
I know
got
they bumped
pushed.
it. 'Cause they're still tweaking things. They
I
want
know,
to be right. I'm
I know,
fine. Yeah,
but
that's
it's like,
childhood.
I was
You don't.
so excited for that.
You don't
game.
fuck up with that.
Like I was
They
even
better
looking at the
nail
remastered
Spyro.
stuff, like the footage they came out with, and I'm like, oh, it looks so much better
I
from that
know.
PlayStation 1 that I played.
Those terrible polygons
eons
on
ago.
PS1.
Yeah.
And the other one's just every year I feel like it's Assassin's Creed. Like they've got a simple.
I don't
they've
do
got a
Odyssey.
blueprint. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They've got a blueprint. They know how to make a quality game. I know it's not interesting for everybody, but I just enjoy playing Assassin's Creed games. I think it's something about the play style, and it's just like, meh. That's one of those games where it's like I can buy it. I buy it. I'd like to rent it.
Is it because it's Greece?
No,
Like, I mean, that to me is like
it does. Like
it's kind of
I've liked
interesting that
all
they're
their
doing
stuff.
Greece now.
I like that they rotate around because playing the same thing was like the not Civil War, the Revolutionary War, the old timey England. Like I like that they changed it up because I was sick of the whole like Rome shit. So no, I think it's cool, and that's one of those games where it's like I know what I'm buying, I know exactly the quality of gameplay I'm going to get out of it.
Yeah.
Play it for a couple weekends, and then I'm done. I could just go resell it or like whatever
Yeah.
it took. So I'm not gonna keep playing it.
Exactly. That's the kind. Well, no, that's even better. That's the game that you go to GameStop, you buy it used,
Yes.
play it and like beat it in 5 days, return it,
And-
get
yep.
your money back.
100% because
Yeah,
that's
that 7-day return.
That's exactly what I would do with that game because it's something I'll enjoy doing, but I don't want to keep it forever.
I'm really hoping that somebody is listening to this, not watching because the camera just died.
That's all right.
But I hope that they're listening to this and being like, I didn't know I could do that.
Oh yeah, no, that's
all the
absolutely
time
abusable.
that you mention that to people and they're like, wait, you can just return the game and you get all your money back?
Yep,
Yeah, that's
it's totally a
the best part.
thing. Totally a thing.
I did that with what was that game called? I bought like a used game for like $40, $30. Played it, beat it within like the day and a half, and then returned it. Got all my money back.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
And then you just get something else. And they totally know that that's what people do.
But that's what it's there for. You know?
Exactly.
To be fair, GameStop employees aren't usually too judgy about that.
I liked
The abuse of policies in GameStops is well known.
Oh, for sure. Ricky, I don't think you've given your
No,
ones you're actually excited about.
I've got 2, and I'll start with the lesser of the 2 first.
Okay.
Tetris Effect. Like,
Really?
I saw.
I love
I
Tetris.
think it looks.
I love
I saw the
Tetris.
E3 announced trailer.
I played
and
a decade's worth of Tetris in road trips in my childhood. So like when you're trying to tell me they're revolutionizing Tetris.
But the thing I liked.
He's watching the trailer
I
for it
am.
right now.
The thing
That's
I
how
liked
excited
most
he is.
about it was it. For me, that's one that I would only want to experience Tetris effect in PlayStation VR.
Yep, you gotta have the VR.
Because it's like everything that like the trailer from E3 was like with the music, there was in VR, people were saying that like the whole, it's not like just a background, it's I can turn my head and it's like I feel
Tetris
like
over
I'm in
here,
this
Tetris
room.
over
Where,
You're
like,
immersed.
You look up
Yeah.
and it's like you see the block coming down. It's like, ooh, can I grab the block and bring it down?
Can I grab the block? No, it's not really there.
Not my hand.
So that's
Put it in my mind.
That's a game where I'm like, I think that one looks cool.
It's visually beautiful. No
that's
argument.
the thing that brings me into it. And with the music, if you can tie that in,
Oh my God.
I'm sold.
That was probably the coolest part, yeah.
The first one, it is easy. It is why I am buying a Switch for the first time. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, December
go.
7th. Like, this is... I didn't play the last one. I didn't play Brawl. I think it was the last one on the Wii U or the Wii. Was not really, like, into that one. But, like, this was one, everything I've seen from it, when they just did their... basically Smash Bros. Direct, and we're like,
Yeah.
Right.
Simon from Castlevania is going to be there. We're going to have this character from Donkey Kong, this and that. There's probably going to be another surprise Nintendo Direct before this comes out to reveal more stuff.
Yeah.
At that point, I was just like, Fry. I was like, here, take my money. I am in. I am buying a Switch this year, and I will get you December 7th. I almost said second.
I think the Switch catalog they've done a really nice job building that along, and I love the Nintendo Directs. I think that's the coolest thing. I know they just had to cancel this one because of obviously the earthquakes in China, Japan. I'll be honest, I'm blanking on where it was. I read this morning that it was like, oh yeah, they had to cancel because of that. But like, I think they're gonna drop one more like surprise release or surprise character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Plus, I mean, you were talking about Starlink. If you get it on the Switch, you can play as Star Fox in Starlink.
Boom.
That was like their big announcement with Starlink at E3. It was like, ooh, you want to play it, like, and they showed, like, because I remember the trailer, they, like, showed his, like, collar and stuff, and right away I'm like, Star Fox?
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
you
like,
saw it right away.
I was like, oh, man, I wasn't even thinking about this game, but now I might have to get it to try it.
Yeah.
Do the whole, like Mark said, buy it, try it, return it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the problem though with the Switch is like, you know, you talk about this is why you're gonna buy a Switch, and I bought a Wii U for Mario Kart, but also knowing that Super Smash Bros was gonna come out. But I'm like, I can't do it again. I can't buy another Nintendo system at this point. And it's nothing against Nintendo.
Yeah.
I love Nintendo, but I already played Breath of the Wild on my Wii U.
It's okay. Super Smash comes out. We're getting together more often. We're gonna play.
That's
We're gonna
fine.
play Super Smash together.
But it's just one of those things where I'm like, I would like to, because there are games on the Switch that I would love to get, but I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't buy one.
The hours in the day aren't there to make it worth it. I totally understand. I get that, and that's...
Although Ricky brought up a great point in that, you know, because I do like to play something on my laptop while my wife watches something on TV, or, you know, like you watch something that you can just kind of tune out.
Subtle brag about having a wife.
Yeah, right? This
The humble brag.
too old to game right here. And the Switch is perfect for that, you know. But I have a Vita, too, so, you know.
Wow,
Did
you're
you
one of
like
those
the
people.
Vita?
Yeah. I love the Vita. Vita's
Okay.
amazing.
What?
Vita's great. I mean, the
You're
catalog
like the only
kinda
person I
sucks,
know who's
but
positive about the Vita, I'll be
the
honest.
Vita rules.
No, I know I don't know people in real life. I know podcasters who are
Okay.
positive about the Vita.
The thing about the Vita,
I never
the
knew someone
Vita-
in real life who owned it.
Yeah, I've owned it for a long time. The Vita is an awesome system. The catalog just was never there to support it. So, like, if you love PS1 games, you can get a ton of PS1 games on your Vita.
Yeah.
And there's some Vita games that actually exist out there. But yeah, it just was terribly supported.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. We've given a round table. Any final thoughts? The one I want to throw out there because no one
Black Ops
mentioned...
4.
It's Black
That's what I was going to mention.
I wasn't
like,
going that route.
I'm going to
Black
buy
Ops
it.
4, yeah.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the story. Yeah.
Of course you are.
I like the Black Ops games were one of my, like, Black Ops.
I know.
And basically, like, I liked Modern Warfare before it came like Advanced Warfare. I liked the Modern Warfare.
I also was not into Advanced.
I've liked the Black Ops stories. The Black Ops games have been some of my favorites. So it's
I don't know
like,
if I can just buy another Call. Like last year, we were in. We were.
it was a
hard
good
in.
game though. I
It
didn't
was
play
a
the
quality
story, but
game.
it was actually
No, I played the
good
story.
multiplayer.
You didn't play
game.
the story,
I played multiplayer.
dude. The story mode at the end of it, like the whole thing is you pushing your way towards Hitler,
Yeah.
and the end of it is they force you to walk through a concentration camp that you guys stumble upon. It is like
That's cool.
the most like bone-chillingly awful feeling that you've ever
Talk
experienced.
about like
because
what we were doing ethics.
it's
Talk
forced
about
morality.
feelings in video games.
It's forced morality, and
Which
you,
is
and that
awesome
one
too.
you could just say it's history.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it reminds me of one of my favorite moments in history is when the United States troops got to a concentration camp, and the city there is like, oh, we don't know what was going on in there.
Exactly.
They fucking took those people and walked them through the concentration camp and said, this is what was happening. You really want to tell us you didn't realize this was happening? And they forced those people to actually see what was happening just
the atrocities being committed. I mean, it was, it's you're forced to do it. You're forced to experience it. It is one of the worst feelings because you should feel good. You just plowed through fucking,
You're going to kill
France
Hitler.
and Belgium and Germany, and you got all the way there, and this is what you come across. So, I mean, like, it had a great story, Ricky. Honestly, like, I had a ton of fun playing it up until that point.
Play that story mode.
Yeah.
After Spider-Man.
After Spider-Man. Before Black
after
Ops.
your 20 hours.
Black Ops is fun. I don't know if I'll give it a shot again this time around. I don't know. I got different priorities, but we'll see. Come November, they're always November drop, right? Mm-hmm. Right around my birthday. Yeah. So that's fair. Mark, I figured you'd be the Fallout guy.
No, actually,
I had you pegged
I
as the Fallout
specifically
guy.
am not really that excited about Fallout.
October.
Oh,
It's October 12th.
I'm
okay.
interested in Fallout 76.
Yeah, that was one where it's like, should I be excited for that one?
It's just, I just don't really care about I know it's not really an MMO, but I don't really care about that type of style of game.
Open worldness.
No, I love open world games. I just don't love I'm kind of forced to do this online. I'm curious about it. I am interested in it. I think this is one where I'm just going to watch some streamers play it and watch some Let's Plays, and then that'll probably be good for me.
I think I'm weirdly with you on that. I wanted to be hyped for this game. I wanted to be excited for the Fallout franchise.
I love Fallout games, but
I don't know if this is in the same vein. Like you said, they changed the play style. They changed the way you have to play the game. So,
which is fine. They can do what they want. We'll get another Fallout that's going to be awesome later.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if that's successful or not. I think that wraps it up for this episode of Tool to Game. We went and covered a little bit of everything. Sorry, Fortnite, we missed you this week, but we'll get you next week for sure.
The new update came out too, man.
We will get you next week for sure. Won't drop off again, I promise. But if you enjoyed listening to us ponder the ethics of video games, loot boxes and legalities, and then a little bit of a ray of sunshine at the end for looking forward to new games. You can go ahead down, hit that sub button. You can go down in the comment sections, share the love, hit up iTunes, give us 5-star if we're worth it for you. Go to Patreon.
I think we were.
If you want to be, that extra and above, the real MVPs out there, you can join us on a podcast for that $10 tier. And I think that is it. Oh, hit the website, mustpodcast.com. We appreciate all love. We love talking to you guys. We love talking in general, apparently.
I love
Turns
talking.
out that's a thing. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening for this entirely too long episode of Too Old to Game.